Welcome to another Friday?
No.
Thursday edition.
Thursday.
What do you know? What are we doing here on a Thursday?
I know, it seems weird. It's not right.
It is a little different, but we're off tomorrow in observance of Good Friday, so we have a special edition Thursday.
We do.
It's our 38th episode, so it'll be a little bit different today, honestly. Since we kind of just put this together last minute and said we're going to go ahead and still go live this week, even though we don't have a Friday, we don't really have a product topic today. So we've got an array of products out here, and we're counting on all of you to supply the info today. So we did get some questions come in today, so really it's a Q&A day. So this is the day, and Kevin tried to run from us, but I just captured him in the building. Yeah, you couldn't run and hide.
Texting me in.
So Kevin's here, Vice President of R&D. He's the one with all the knowledge. So we're ready for your toughest questions today, or your easy ones. It can be product related. It can be lubrication related. It can be diesel related. We'll try to answer them as best we can.
Yep.
So let's see. We're going to do free product giveaway, customer's choice. Is that right, Levi? I guess we're going to give the customer their choice on product. That's pretty cool. We haven't done that before.
Yeah.
And if we don't get any questions, we do have some Stiction Eliminator, which we didn't get to really in depth last week because we had so many questions and we were just answering questions the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of goal for today. So that means it'll probably happen opposite.
It could, but it seems like we always get some really good questions. So.
We do get good questions. We appreciate everybody out there that watches us each week, and for those first timers, welcome aboard. We just like to have a good time and open our doors up, let people know what's going on here at Hot Shot Secret, Lubrication Specialties, answer your technical questions, answer your any product questions you have. So let's see, let's kind of cover the housekeeping stuff. TV upcoming this Saturday at 10:30 a.m. on Truck U. We are covering Chris's favorite product, TBN booster. Yep. We got TBN out here?
Yep, right there.
Right there. So they're going to be doing TBN. That's on MotorTrend Network on Truck U, Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. And then on Sunday at 10:30 in the morning, another episode of Truck U and MotorTrend is going to be covering our Stiction Eliminator. So over the weekend, long weekend, holiday weekend, 10:30 both mornings, catch us on MotorTrend and let them educate you a little bit about what we got.
Yep.
What else we got in the news?
As far as our website, we have a new article on our website, and it is titled, "What's Your Diesel Smoke Telling You?"
I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah, we whenever we do these articles, we actually have a few people to go through them, and
you do?
I did the final check of them there. So
what does diesel smoke tell you?
Well, a lot of things can be learned from diesel smoke. Most importantly, how your truck is burning. A lot of guys do have tunes, and they naturally have some black smoke, but
Those are the guys that want it.
yeah, exactly.
They're just dumping a lot of fuel, aren't they?
Yeah, a big thing is if your smoke condition changes. Just like oil analysis, you have your baseline of what's normal, and when you stray from what's normal, there's a problem. So, black smoke, unburned fuel, white smoke, raw fuel entering the combustion chamber made from an injector problem, or mainly injector problem is the cause. But there's other reasons.
So black fuel, you're pretty much kind of running rich.
Yeah.
But white fuel, so I mean that's correctable. But white smoke is kind of a problem. It's more dangerous.
Yeah, it means you're dumping a bunch of fuel in. Yeah. So you're not really burning it at all. It's just going straight into your cylinder. A lot of it's leaking past your rings. Some of it's going out your exhaust. And then of course, the other source of smoke is more of a steam smoke, which you can't really tell the difference visually. But if you have a leaking head gasket, sometimes you'll get a little bit of a sweet smell. It'll also be like a light-colored smoke.
Is that from like coolant?
Yeah, coolant getting in the combustion chamber.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it doesn't burn, so it just turns into steam and passes on through.
What about if you see blue smoke?
Blue smoke is an indication that blue smoke's an indication that you're burning a lot of oil.
I was completely kidding. There's really blue smoke?
There actually is blue smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, so what can happen there? Some causes of that, if you have a turbo bearing that's going out,
right.
Oil goes through the turbo bearing and it can circulate oil through your the combustion process. If you have stiction in your rings where your rings aren't floating around nicely and keeping a good seal, The oil that's used for lubricant, instead of getting wiped back down into your crankcase, it's actually burning in the combustion chamber.
Oh, yeah.
Leaking past.
So what other colors of smoke do I not know about?
You covered the
Covered
big
them all.
ones.
There's no red smoke.
That's only four I remember.
Well, if you want to read more about that, we got What's Your Diesel Smoke Telling You? It's a new article on our website. I'm sure they post it on our social media as well. You can go to Articles and Articles, I believe, as the website's set up right now, which will be changing soon. The new website's coming soon, right, Levi? How long?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, give or take. Give or take. So we're really looking forward to that. We got a whole new website coming, so stay tuned on that. In the event world, we got a bunch of big events coming up.
Yeah, some really big ones.
We've had a long, cold, nasty winter here in Ohio, and 'tis the season now. The events are coming around. So this time next week, I'll be down in North Carolina for Rudy's opener. The Outlaw Diesel Super Series season kicks off. We've all been waiting for it. I know there's a bunch of there's guys out there that have switched classes, have whole new builds. There's guys that are staying in their class for their truck, but the truck is completely changed now. We're really looking forward to it, and we're the Pro Street Class sponsors. Our Diesel Extreme here is the official fuel additive of the Outlaw Diesel Super Series. Just such a great series, and we're happy to be part of it. And no better place than Rudy's down there to kick it off. You know, it's always a good time, and man, they pack that place.
Yeah, they do. It's a big event.
It's a good track down there in Piedmont too.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to that. So that's next weekend. Anybody in North Carolina, near North Carolina, want to see the baddest diesel trucks in the nation, go at it. Come on down to Piedmont Dragway, I believe it's called. And man, it's a sight to see. So we're looking forward to kicking season off there. And especially with it being Rudy's, I know it's kind of leaked out of the bag a little bit. We've been working with Rudy's now, so
We are.
The Rudy's, both their trucks, the all-wheel drive truck and the Pro Mod, are going to be running the Hot Shot Secret Adrenaline Racing Oil this year. So we're really excited to have them on board. It's just another one of these top echelon race teams that really can have their pick of the litter of what kind of fluids they want to run, and contacted us last year, and we've been kind of testing with them in the off season. So we're really excited to see our fluids in another race team's awesome trucks. I can't wait to see what they do. Shout out to Nathaniel out there. I know I mean, if you guys haven't seen what they've done to the all-wheel drive truck, I mean, it is like all new. Like, I mean, it is complete, like almost ground up rebuild. So really excited about that. Obviously, the Fire Punk guys here in Ohio, they got some new trucks competing this year and stuff. So we're excited. We're excited. We can't wait to get down there next week, see everybody, and then following that, come right back from Rudy's.
One of the biggest events of the year, the Ultimate Callout Challenge.
Yeah, I mean the Super Bowl of diesels, as they say, and it's real interesting this year since Levon at Fire Punk, a 3-time defending champion, and he sold the truck off, and so it's like anybody's game now. Now it's all like it's. And I know a lot of people are doing some crazy builds. All the Facebook guys have been starting to show now that we're only a week or two away.
Yeah, we're starting to pick on each other a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little smack talk going out there, and we sponsored Josh Scruggs, who's the guy who purchased Levon's truck.
Yeah.
So man, does he have a build too? I just saw a little snippet video they have of it. So we're looking forward to supporting Josh and what they're doing, and so back to back, Rudy's and then UCC. These next 2 weeks are going to be crazy. This is what the diesel motorsports world waits for, these 2 weeks to kick off the year. So, and like I said, I've been saying every single week, I know it's a little further out, but we keep getting closer. May 31st and June 1st, which will be the next Outlaw Diesel Super Series race, is coming to Ohio. We finally get a race here in Ohio. It's the Outlaw Diesel Revenge by Fire Punk. The Saturday night finale is fueled by Hot Shot Secret. We got some cool stuff playing. Can't wait for it. So we invite all of you, since we travel all over the country to all these races and come see you, we're inviting all of you to come to Ohio for the Fire Punk event and the Outlaw Diesel Revenge. Looking forward to hosting all of you and welcoming you to Ohio, and looking forward to that event. It's going to be a blast. So circle that date, May 31st, June 1st. Remember to post your questions below, because we got nothing today. We got nothing planned except to answer your questions. So give us some ammo here. And so let's dig into it. Let's see if we got any questions off the top. And we're going to wing it. But we got Kevin here, so we're safe. Brian Checks has caught me off guard. I know, man. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard, too. Caught him. He just walked in the building. I said, we're going live. And made him sit down real quick, grabbed himself a pop, and said, I'm going after it. So Brent Hilliard says, illuminate us on TSE. That's just open table. Let's talk TSE.
Yeah, TSE is actually one of our older products, and it's one of those ones where we've never changed over the years because we get such good feedback from people. And what it actually is, it's a Group 5 ester.
Does that mean there's no additive in it?
It does, yeah.
It's our only additive that has no additive. It's like my favorite fun fact. I got to say it every time.
Yeah, and the idea behind it is the problem it's trying to solve is the varnish that gets into your transmission. So if you think about, I don't know, if you picture how a transmission's put together, it has a valve body that has plungers that go back and forth. It has little check balls that go back and forth. It has solenoids that operate. All that controls the timing of the shifting and really the quality of shifting. Well, as time goes on, just like in the engine oil, the additives come out of solution and they make some varnish. Anywhere that there's heat, additives have a tendency to precipitate out. And the symptom of that is you'll get late shifting, early shifting, just the quality of shift just won't
Rough
be
shifting.
there. Yeah. I just as an example, have a 2002 Honda Odyssey, problem transmission. Yeah, well actually the wife does.
He's got like 400 cars.
Bought it with a lot of miles on it to start with. Bought it with about 180,000 miles. It seemed like it was well maintained, so we bought the car. After we put about 10,000 miles on it, the shift quality started to change. It just didn't. Sometimes it would hang on to a shift. Sometimes the shift quality just wasn't there. Did some research online, found out that basically it's a problem transmission. You know, some people would replace their transmission like 3 times. So I was like, I really need to put transmission Stiction Eliminator in it.
Right.
You know, either to protect it or to see if it solves the problem. And my personal experience, you know, within about 200 miles, the problems completely went away. And for a transmission that's a problematic transmission, you know, we still are running that car and it has like 330,000 miles on it now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and we've never had transmission trouble again. So we get stories like that very frequently on, especially shift quality. We've heard stuck solenoids. They've taken
It'll free 'em up, yep.
Yeah, it'll free them up. It's a little harder to unstick a solenoid, but there's still a pretty high chance that it'll fix that. Thing to keep in mind is it's like Kyle had said, it doesn't have any additives in it. It's just a very polar oil, and what that does, it's an oil that kind of scrubs the surfaces, cleans them up, takes the additives back into solution. And if you're not having problems, it also it actually reduces the chances of having problems in the future.
Right.
But more importantly, transmission fluids, there's so many different types of transmission fluids for different types of transmissions. This can be put in any transmission that doesn't affect the additive balance.
Automatic transmission.
Automatic transmissions, yeah.
And that's because we talk about a lot about oil groups here, you know, Group 2 conventional, Group 3 synthetic.
Yeah.
We offer Group 4, you know, PAO oils. Well, a Group 5 is as high as you get. And that's a pure ester. So when people say, "Can I add this?" Well, look, a Group 5 ester is going to be better than any oil out there or any transmission fluid. The only thing it's going to do is improve it. You know, it's not going to damage anything. One question about it that I have: what about these new lifetime transmission fluids? How are they doing that? If, you know, functionally, I would assume, or is lifetime really 100,000 miles? I mean, how can they get away with 100,000 miles without having a change or anything like that? Or are we going to see problems in those?
You know, it's really tough to say. You know, we know from past experience with, you know, internationals, it's really tough to predict how equipment is going to last, you know, through the entire warranty period. Generally, if you follow the money, manufacturers, their goal is to get it past the warranty period, and then I don't think they intentionally try to make money off of the spare parts, but they don't. Their goal is to get it past the warranty. You know, that's their guarantee period that it'll last this long. So.
And that's the period when you have to start buying parts.
Yeah.
So they don't want to go too far past.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, time will tell. There's not enough history on those transmissions yet to see what would happen. But we do know.
But is TSE good for those type of transmissions as well?
It is. It is. Yeah.
Now, another personal TSE question. Not personal question. I'll leave those for later.
Yeah.
The marshmallow comes up in topic here often. I noticed recently the shifting, it'll hold a gear only when I'm at like wide open throttle.
Yeah.
Like, but regular driving, it shifts fine. But sometimes when I hammer it, it wants to hang on to the gear until I like lift and at really high RPM, then it will drop down. Is that something that TSE may be able to help with?
Yeah, it very well could be. Besides redissolving additives, esters are known to improve the film strength and improve the lubricity at the lubricating surface. So, if you're having trouble with a torque converter hanging up, or something within the internals of the transmission, pretty much anything that's touching the transmission fluid that needs lubricated, it's likely it would help. It'd be interesting to try it and see.
We'll try it. It's now the shop guinea pig. So
Yeah.
we're,
Yeah, we have a test going on
and
right
also,
now.
we always say all of our products have 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. We literally don't ask question. TSE is one of those products that is absolutely, you got to remember that with that, because anybody who's looking at a transmission issue is going to look at a pricey transmission issue. So it is worth a shot to run TSE through before you go pay somebody a ton load of money for transmission work. If it doesn't work for you, then you have a mechanical problem in the transmission anyway that no additive is going to fix, and we'll give you your money back so you can go to that mechanic and have to pay the big bucks to get the transmission fixed. But it's absolutely one of those products that you should try before spending the big dollars on a transmission problem. You'd be surprised what it can fix.
Yeah, and I should say, a slipping transmission, generally it will not fix that.
Right. If you're
That's-
slipping, it's
yeah.
gone past the point of that's mechanical.
Yeah.
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 Now, some people's definition of slipping isn't always accurate too. So it's worth a shot. If you
Yeah.
got something in there, it's worth a shot. Okay. Ricky Benson's watching. Hey there, Ricky. Ricky, get back on that contract. I need to get that finished up today. Dan Miller sneaked up on me. I know. Good afternoon to you, Dan. Greg Jolly, how you doing, Greg? I'll see you next week. They're our friends over at Shy Diesel. We're running the Outlaw Diesel series. We'll see them next week. Brian Scheck says, so what you're saying is rolling coal is not good. Got it. Well, I guess it depends who's trying to roll the coal. Some of these guys enjoy it. Environmentalists don't.
Yeah.
We don't have any say in how people tune their trucks or anything like that. As a matter of fact, we've got very well proven data on our emissions. We can reduce emissions quite a bit. I mean, we've proven that FR3 has emissions testing on it, right?
Yeah, actually, it's EDT.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, on the fuel side, yeah.
Yeah.
So and what have we found with that in the testing?
Yeah, we have a couple different data points. One, a customer with a large fleet.
And feet. He's got large
he's
feet.
got- it reduces regen more than 50%.
Oh, well, that when we did Ohio State, or who was it? It was
City of Columbus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they went from, I think, 32 to 6.
Yeah, it was a dramatic
Yeah,
reduction.
like
from-
insane reduction in.
Yeah.
And they were on the two-step. They were running Diesel Extreme every 6,000 or something, and then it
Yeah.
switched to EDT, and the amount of regens went dramatically down. So
Yeah, so we went to the dyno to do some testing and find out, with a calibrated instrument, exactly what that percent reduction was. And what we found out was at idle it was a 50%, just a touch over 50% reduction in the emissions when a truck's using EDT, and that's primarily through the increase in fuel efficiency
Right.
from the better combustion.
and that's the thing. I mean, I know diesels historically kind of got a bad rap for being, black smoke and bad emissions and all that. But the modern diesels are very efficient,
Yeah.
and I believe for the most part they're even more efficient than gasoline cars when it comes to emissions.
Definitely.
So, and then if you start running a product like our EDT with your fuel, which really just makes that fuel much more combustible, much more a premium grade fuel, if you will.
Yeah.
Allows it to burn more fully, then we get better emissions out of it as well too. So, bring it on, gas cars. Diesels can be clean. Those are all lies, Dan says. Is it good if your truck doesn't smoke unless you really get on it?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
And what if you get on it and it still doesn't smoke? That means you're really running efficient, even at
Yeah.
wide open throttle.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not bad if a truck puts out a little bit of black smoke when you really get on it.
Right. I
that's-
mean, because it's not tuned for the whole. And actually, if you come out to somewhere like the diesel races, you'll see all sorts of different smoke. And some of these guys are really dumping a lot of fuel. Anyways, I know Wade Moody. He likes to pride himself on having a very smokeless pass. So when he's spooling and everything, you can't avoid that much power and everything to have some smoke there. But if you watch Wade down the track, it actually he doesn't put out much smoke at all, and it's just tuned well and balanced well for it. So and some guys want to put a show off, going down the track too, and leave
cool to watch.
leave a cloud behind them. So a lot of that's really in the tuning and how much fuel they're dumping. So Brian checks that just did my all today, fresh 1540 DF with FR3 and some Stiction Eliminator. Awesome. Well, Brian, that's going to give you a full cleanse. I think that was the first time you put our oil in your pole trucks. So I think I recommended him throwing a little Stiction in as well. Now, normally you wouldn't need the Stiction, but on the first time, I told him to put some Stiction in. Brian, you're going to feel it, buddy. So report back and let us know how the truck's running. Dan's answering, since especially say yes. I usually don't smoke except in my hot tunes. Yep. Lisa Miller, you said ammo. I did. Lisa's part of my car club ammo, so different ammo. But Hot Shot Secret sponsors Ammo Car Club, so we're happy to do that. I would like to test Stiction Eliminator. Razmir Avic. Well, tell us what kind of vehicle you got, Razmir. I mean, Stiction Eliminator is good for everything. Let us know what we want to test it on. Yeah. And the Diesel Extreme. We want to test everything, Razmir. Let us know what kind of vehicle you have. We'll tell you what's good for you. Brent Hilliard says, so would TSE be more of a preventative or a curative? It's really both. People generally don't go to it till they have a problem.
Yeah.
And then, especially those people, and like I always say, if you read our reviews, the reviews on TSE are through the roof. It's usually saving someone's transmission, so they get really excited. And I found a lot of people that have used TSE as a when they have a problem, they then later become somebody saying, I'm putting that in all my cars so I never get there, you know. So unfortunately, most people don't use it as a preventative until they've had to use it as a curative, but it is for both.
Yeah.
Do you have it in all your cars, all 96?
Yep, sure do.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't.
95, I sold one.
Okay. Mary Ann's watching. Hey, Mary Ann. Todd Roberts. How you doing, Todd? Jeremy Miller. TSE safe in the NAG 1.
NAG 1.
Oh, come on, buddy. It's Mopar.
I know this.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy. It's safe in the NAG 1. It's that's the Mercedes-Benz transmission that Mopar used through all the LXs.
Yeah.
5.7s all have them. The Jeep's got a NAG 1 in it. So, Taylor Marshall, what's the best treatments you can use at the same time for the best results on a 6-liter? Great question, Taylor. 6-liter, combination of treatments. What are you going with?
Okay, I'll start with the oil. Whether you use our oil or somebody else's oil, at the very minimum, you'd want to use a synthetic oil. We had mentioned a couple weeks ago, the main reason for that is a synthetic doesn't have a lot of friction modifiers. When oils have friction modifiers, they can shear out a grade, get thinner, doesn't give you the protection, you start to have all kinds of bad things start to happen. But our synthetic, of course, is really good. It comes with the FR3, has a low NOAC volatility, excellent wear protection. So start with that. If you are using our engine oil, you would use a maintenance dose of the Stiction Eliminator. The reason for that is our oil.
Kind of like what Brian Check just did.
Yeah, exactly. Our oils already have a 5% dose of FR3, so you would only need basically a half dose of the Stiction Eliminator to get basically the equivalent of a clean out dose of Stiction.
Right.
So that would cover you on the oil side. On the fuel side, if you hadn't run any additives in it before, you do the 2-step treatment on the fuel side. You do the Diesel Extreme first, get everything cleaned out really good, and then from there on, you would use the EDT. And then, transmission-wise, the transmission Stiction Eliminator.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and obviously with the 6.0, we always talk about that's a Huey injector, so Stiction is pretty much mandatory with them. You're going to see the benefits of it. Let's say you got those injectors all cleaned out, running great, and is running our oil, which has FR3 already infused. But the FR3 is also going to work keeping those injectors clean.
Yeah.
After it's cleaned out, did they have to go back to Stiction Eliminator? Or if they're running our oil with FR3 in it, is it good for like a life fill if they stay on it?
It's really good for a life fill if you stay on the synthetic with the FR3. It has the maintenance dose and will
Keep it clean.
We'll keep it clean. Yeah.
And if you feel your injector starting to stick again, just throw a batch of Stiction Eliminator there. It's good. It's going to clean them up real good.
Yeah.
Bearded Medic says, damn it, almost missed. I know, man. It's Thursday. We don't even know what's going on here. You're telling me. David Baker's tuned in. Hey, David. The Lightning transmission has turned around since I added TSE. Wow, David Baker, he's one of our local guys we sponsor here.
Yeah.
And he's got the Ford Lightning,
Yeah.
the red truck, the Molly drives.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember when we first started talking to him, he said he was having some transmission issues. I don't recall what they were. The truck was good enough. He's still racing it, But he had mentioned that to me before the transmission. Ever since TSE has been working really great. So
Great.
we're glad to hear that, David.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting it out there. Sean Tripoli, my question was skipped. My bad. Levi's supposed to tell me if I skip questions because my phone doesn't catch them all sometimes.
Bye.
So sorry, Sean. Can I add any products to my power steering? Excellent question. We have a great solution for power steering. I think we even put it on the bottle, don't we? FR3. Yeah, we even put it in there. Add to engine oil, hydraulic system, differentials, power steering. FR3 is an excellent product in your power steering. If you got a whiny power steering, if it's starting to whine, and like we say, a lot of you guys with big trucks out there that have those giant wheels that are really hard to turn and stuff, and we're putting a lot of muscle behind it, we always recommend about a 5% dose.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to figure out how much the capacity is of your power steering, capacity. It's usually pretty small. It's not much you need to put in, but just a 5% dose will really help out power steering quite a bit. I know in my car, I felt it right away. It made it, just like butter to turn. So much so that we've been trying to test it forever. Poor Aaron has come up with more like MacGyver contraptions to. It's really hard to we like to scientifically prove stuff. I can sit here and tell you, hey man, pour it in. It worked great for me. But we wanted to put data to it, and I know you guys have been trying.
Yeah, we've had some dramatic results from customers. We'll hear a story like, hey, I put big tires on my truck. I would have to kind of hand over hand it, and after I put the FR3 in, it turns just like I didn't have the big tires on it.
Right.
We've heard a number of things like that. So we were thinking in the R&D part, well, if there's that much of a difference, and it's very common to hear these reports, we need to quantify it somehow, which we, like Kyle had said, we try to make up a contraption to where we can check the amount of force with the torque wrench, try to couple other little things. We haven't been able to quantify it yet, but we know that there's something there because so many people tell us what a big difference it is, and it does quiet steering wheel pumps down, whiny especially, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there you go, Sean. That's a good question, and that's where you put it. And since you only need about 5% in there, you're only using a little bit. It leaves you a lot of FR3 left over, even if you get like an 8-ounce bottle. It's good. And again, hydraulics. My lawnmower loves it.
Yeah, zero turns. I have it in my oil and my hydraulic fluid in zero turns.
I put it in my air tools now.
Yeah.
Great in air tools. I even put it on my garage door wheels.
Yeah.
I use it just as like lube everywhere now. It's good stuff. So, Brian Check. Oh, I have a question. Coming down to watch USMC Racing dominate at the end of the month at CMP. Brian, I'm promising you I'm going to try. I'm going to be down in North Carolina. He's going to be like 2 hours away in South Carolina.
Oh, cool.
So if I get a window to escape from Rudy's, I promise you, man, I'm gonna make it down there. So I just got to make sure I got time to get there and get back. And I do have Brett going down now too. So I thought I was going to be going down alone. So that would have been really tough. But we'll see. I'm going to try, Brian. Oh, here's Razmir again. He's got a BMW X5 35D twin turbo diesel. Nice. Yeah, I want that. If you want to give it to me. So he's saying he'd like to test the Stiction Eliminator and the Diesel Extreme in it. Yeah, absolutely. that's a perfect car for both. Certainly the Diesel Extreme, like we say, that's like a twice a year clean out kind of thing, every 6,000 miles or so. So you want to go ahead and use that in the BMW diesel to get everything cleaned out nice and good. But then right after that, you want to switch to our EDT. That's our everyday diesel treatment. You can put that in every single tank. It's cost effective to do so. Like we say, it's a 6-in-1 product. So we designed it not to just be a cetane booster or just an injector cleaner or a lubricity adder. We put it all in there. So it's really going to take that nasty diesel fuel that is the only option out there now at the pump and turn it into some premium fuel. And you got a nice Beamer like that. You want to take care of it and take care of the fuel system with it. So thanks for chiming in, Razmir. That's what I recommend. Maybe we might give you a free bottle today. James Bruce, about time. I was wondering. I started to worry. I was like, James isn't here yet.
Yeah.
He's going to tune in tomorrow, and we're not going to be here. And then we're going to get these emojis of him crying by a pool or in Florida at a beach somewhere or something.
And with you, we have some regulars we kind of miss when
Boy,
we see
you
'em.
guys are so excited you're a day early. I know, James. The weekend's going to be here early for us. So, are you down in Florida still? Were you in Florida last week or something? I don't know if you caught it, but James said that he put FR3 in his rental car. I lost it, man. That's a dedicated fan. I like that. Bearded Medic says, use EDT all the time. Yep, I would not fill out without it. I said, Sean, my power steering whines like crazy too. Well, Bearded Medic, put some FR3 in there. You know better than that. So, Jeff Obermeyer needs a fluid change at 150,000 miles. I don't know if that's more of a question or a statement. I will accept it as a statement. But 150,000 miles, I mean, if you're talking about an oil interval, that's a long one. We can do it. We can get some Blue Diamond and throw a bypass filter on there. We can surprise people with that. Oh, here's James Bruce with an update. Just an update from last week. I was asked to not come back to the lazy river with my Unicorn FR3 beard oil in my beard. I guess they don't appreciate the magical rainbow on the surface of the water. Blows my mind. Yeah, you contaminated the water. Thanks for letting us know, James. Brett Hellier's got a question. In everyday pickup driving, premium versus performance dose recommendation.
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say definitely a performance dose.
Oh, really?
The reason why is we had trucking companies that use the EDT, for business reasons, for a money payback. They get the best payback at the performance dose.
They do. Now, I take his question as everyday pickup driving. So
Yeah.
if it's not a trucking company under heavy loads, I'm going to say I'm going to differ with
What?
you here. Yeah, I'm got to go get you. I'm going to say go with our premium dose, and I'll tell you why. Because there's nothing wrong with our premium dose. It is actually fully formulated to give you everything you need to clean the injectors, the proper lubricity levels. You're going to have enough moisture dispersant in there. You're going to have enough fuel stabilizer in there on the premium dose. We design it that way. We always tell people we design up to exactly what you need. Anything over that is usually overkill. Now, with a fuel additive like this, there is benefits of going over. The main benefit you're going to get from the premium dose to the performance dose, and I'm challenging R&D here on this, so I'm ready to take my licking if I'm wrong, is you're going to move from 4-point cetane up to 7-point cetane. There is a lot of benefit to that. But at the same time, I don't think people should believe that they have to use our performance dose. If you run our premium dose, you get twice as much out of our bottle. And we're not in this to make you buy tons of bottles. We want to be honest with how much additive we're putting in our stuff. It's fully formulated. So if you literally have a pickup truck that's like your daily driver, not being put under extreme loads or hauling or towing or anything like that, it's literally treated like a Volkswagen Rabbit, like Chris would say,
Yeah.
then I think you're completely fine using the premium dose. We would have to do some serious side-by-side testing. Now, I will say, on anything that's carrying a load or under a higher horsepower or any modification, something like that, absolutely, the performance dose is the way to go. But if we're talking about the bare minimum daily driver, premium dose is fine.
Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, so here's the other side of that.
Okay.
So our EDT has two different purposes. One is to provide extra efficiency, which is what gives you the payback. That's the cetane and the injector cleaner. The other part's to protect the fuel system, which the people that use it don't see i- unless they
Have an issue.
Yeah, have an issue. What we've seen, even truck drivers, and actually I just had lunch with one of our fuel jobbers today, and
It's a long lunch.
yeah, it was. Well, he's a good customer. Anyway, their experience with our additive. So pretty much anybody that uses our additive at a big level, they're looking, drums, totes, they sample it, they test it. They want to make sure that it works, that it meets the claims. There's a lot at stake. They're spending $10,000-$20,000 at a crack.
And I should speak to that real quickly. That tells you a lot for, like we always say, when we formulate for like the race teams and stuff, and we formulate for these big fuel jobbers and these fleets and stuff, it's the same product that you're buying off the shelf. We always say we don't have two different types. So this is the exact same product. We just put it in a tote rather than a small bottle. So if these guys are willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars of additive into their huge hundreds of thousands of dollars of fuel that they go through, they don't do it for any other reason than it saves them money.
Exactly. And basically what he found, he just runs his truck as an everyday truck. Basically he's run some of the biggest ones out there and actually sells those products, and he's going to stop using that product and use our EDT. And what he's found is that it's got such a big payback as far as fuel economy, even for the daily driver. He noticed a big difference in the power that he could fill, but more importantly, he's got a new truck that has the digital display, and he got over a 5% increase in fuel economy, which pays for the performance dose. So again, even for the daily driver, it still makes business sense to use it every day, even at the performance dose.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, and Brent said that's on a 6.0 Power Stroke. It really doesn't make a difference on the motor. We still have the same recommendation. Now, I go over the performance dose. If I'm driving the company truck, we always have a couple bottles of EDT in the door there, so anytime I got to stop and fuel up, I'm kind of like, man, and I try to count it out, but then I forget how much fuel it holds, and so I always end up putting extra in there. And again, at that point, you're pretty much there is a point of diminishing returns on it, though, except for the only thing that's going to keep going up really is that cetane. And it goes up, that starts, like we always talk about the Trace Sykes dose, which is 200, he does 200 to 1 what we recommend, 200 times what we recommend when he races. So you're not going to hurt anything, but you're just wasting a lot if it's just a daily driver. Bearded Medic says he does about 1.5 ounce per week. So he's right in the middle there. So he does a little in between. Oh, Jeff Obermeyer is clearing it up from earlier. Sorry for the confusion. My truck has 123,000 miles now. I'm going to have a transmission fluid change at 150,000 miles. Can I use the TSE to clean things up before I change the fluid and use it after I put the new in to keep things clean? That's a good question.
Yeah.
So he's approaching that interval where he knows he's going to be changing the fluid out in 25,000 miles.
Yeah.
Should he put some TSE in now to get some clean out, and then it gets flushed out when he does the change?
That's actually a pretty good strategy.
That's a very good strategy.
Yeah, we hadn't really thought of that.
No, we haven't thought of that, have we? I like it, though.
Yeah,
Jeff, you're right
good.
on it, because the good thing is, like we always say, what's different about all of our capabilities of removing stiction, we're actually returning it back to solution. So when you talk about having burnt varnish, burnt up oil, in your motor, in your transmission, some of these other products out there are pretty harsh, and they can strip stuff, but that's also why you got to get it out of the vehicle right away. We have the capability to clean and lubricate at the same time, but in doing so, it takes time. We're slowly wearing down that varnish and returning it to liquid form. The analogy I use, you probably say it's awful, but an analogy I always use is if you have like like your can of Coke there. If it were like spill on the table and dry and get all sticky, well, you can't get in there and clean everything out, with a scrub brush. So it's almost like pouring hot water over it slowly. We're slowly almost melting it back down into solution. So if you have a 123,000 mile transmission that has some stiction in there, we'll return that varnish to a liquid form. But yeah, then in 25,000 miles, you're going to dump it, and it's all going to come out. Fresh fluid in there. Throw a little bit of TSE in there to prevent it from coming back.
Yeah.
Not going to shoot me down on this one?
No, that's a good plan.
Okay.
I like that.
Good plan. He said it.
Yeah.
James Bruce says, ask Levi. Black diamonds burn, son. Wow. I'll ask Levi on that one. Daylon Smith says, 1997 F350 7.3 E4 OD. Falling through third gear, heading to fourth. TSE, knowing the E4 OD, what are your thoughts?
Like Kyle said earlier, if you're having obvious problems like that, it is worth a try. We do have a money back guarantee, so if you try it and the problem's not fixed, it's some other issue in your engine even. We don't ask questions. We just issue a refund.
So when he says he's falling through third gear, heading to fourth, I mean, does that mean he's slipping at the top of third?
Might ask him for clarification. That's what I take it as.
Clear that up, Dylan. I mean, if you're slipping it on the top of third before you're getting to that fourth gear, that could be bad news.
Yeah, if it's more of a flutter,
right?
Sometimes
if it doesn't want to catch the gear, that's a whole different story. Regardless of that answer and clarification, give it a try, man. It literally is either going to be, how much does TSE cost, Levi?
$25.
$25 for a quart. So I mean, it's going to be the best $25 you've ever spent in your life, or we're going to give you that $25 back because you got some bigger issues to deal with. So I think it's a no-brainer first try if you got a transmission issue. So, will everyday diesel treatment damage my EGR or DPF?
That's a good question. We actually, as newer technology comes out on emissions are talked about a lot, and it's a lot of times not in a good way because they can be very problematic. So people are very cautious on what they put in their fuel, what they put in their oil. Is this going to cause me problems later? All of our additives are Tier 4 compliant, which means they're low ash. They're good for the newer emission systems. But more importantly, because the EDT and the Diesel Extreme have chemicals in there that restore efficiency by cleaning the injectors and improve efficiency, you're going to put less soot into your emission system. And if you reduce the soot, say 50% of what you normally would put in, technically you should go twice as long without having a problem.
Right.
So it's good insurance too.
Good insurance. Frank asked, can I use full synthetic oil with Stiction Eliminator? It's a 2017 F250 6.7 diesel with 45,000 miles.
Yes. Yeah, Stiction Eliminator.
Let me take it further. Can I use any oil with Stiction Eliminator?
Yes. Yeah. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3.
We just don't recommend anybody should be using a Group 1.
Yeah. Yeah, and we wouldn't recommend using two additives together. There are some additives out there that's
a question we get a lot. Like, there's people that have been using a product for a long time. They like to use it. They want to try ours. They ask if they can mix the two. We generally recommend not to, and we say that out of an abundance of caution. It's not that we don't want you to use that other product or that we know there's a problem with it. The simple fact is there are a million additives out there, some good, some bad. We don't have all the time in the day to test every one of our products against the other products. And the unique thing when you get into additives and tribology is the synergies between chemicals.
Yeah.
So there could be a problem with mixing a couple chemicals. Now, is it a small chance? Yes, but we can't take every product out there and test them against ours and know what will cause a problem and what not. So we just safely say if you decide to use our products, especially for a first time, use our products by themselves. That way, if you do have any issue, we can at least address it. And whereas if you're starting to make a chemical mixture with a bunch of different stuff, who knows what's going on?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I totally agree, Kyle.
Okay. All right. So Barry says, I just picked up a used 2013 BMW X5 35D. diesel with 10,000 kilometers. Must be Canada. Wondering what you would recommend. Stiction Eliminator, a good start? I would say no.
What would you say?
10,000 kilometers? I don't think we need some Stiction Eliminator quite yet. Do you?
You thinking FR3?
I think he could start off with FR3. I think he's right at that edge there where FR3 is a good start, and he could run from there. If we're talking specifically on the oil side, obviously the fuel side, I'll always say if I bought a new diesel off the lot, I would go directly across the street, throw diesel fuel in an EDT right away. You can run our fuel side stuff right away, but on a new to 10,000 kilometer motor, you probably don't have enough stiction built up that FR3 can't knock it out.
Yeah.
There might be a bundle.
Is there a bundle? You know what? Did we skip web stuff on here? I don't think it's on here. I'm gonna get in trouble. Levi and Carmen are gonna blame it on Eric because I don't have your specials on here. But I do remember an email today. We do have some web specials. I believe there's some bundles out there. The bundles are on sale, right?
Still.
They're still on sale from last week.
Yeah. Limited
So-
time.
And it's what's the deal?
$5 off all gallons.
That's new.
That's brand new.
Okay. And what else? How much on the bundles?
Extra 10% off.
That's right. Bundle deals, packaged nicely for everybody with discount. 10% off that deal. And then if you like any of these products, it's a great option. We sell them by the gallon.
Yeah.
You can pretty much buy any of our products by the gallon or by the 5 gallons or totes or whatever. If you want to stock up on a gallon right now, it's an extra $5 on the gallons that are already at a discounted price from if you're buying. So if you like these little bottles to keep in your car, keep your little bottle, buy a gallon, kind of refill it, when you get down, and you're good to go. So there you go, web deals out there. I got a couple more coming in here. James Williams says, what do you recommend for a 2003 6.0 fuel additive? I'm getting 14 miles per gallon and diesel prices are skyrocketing. So an 03 6-liter fuel additive. How many miles? I'm going to guess you have enough miles that we should at least clean it out first. So,
Yeah, definitely. If you hadn't run the diesel extreme before, it's always a good idea to do the two-step. Do the diesel extreme first, and then the EDT thereafter. We've had actually a fellow on YouTube did a video. He had used one of the leading manufacturers' fuel cleaners 2 times in a row to cure a computer code he was getting on his DPF system. He used the Diesel Extreme, and it cleared it up. And he was so happy he did a YouTube video on it. But yeah, would definitely do the 2-step on that.
yep. Okay, so James Williams said Stiction Eliminator saved my injectors. Yeah, certainly if you got a 6.0.
Yeah.
We hear that a lot, so we're happy to hear that, James. I mean, we know injectors are expensive, so especially with the 6.0, that Stiction Eliminator your friend. Preston Amaya has a little bit of a complaint here, which we're open to. Bring them on.
Yeah.
Preston says, our Diesel Extreme ate his injector O-rings. Your rep said he'd help and would pay, but never heard from him again after saying I was taking it to a shop. He said, destroyed. It said, Preston, it ate your O-rings, and he said, destroyed. So, Diesel Extreme destroying an injector O-ring. Is that even possible?
No, it's not. But we need to do like I tell everybody, we don't get calls very often with people that have problems. But when we do, we want to do a full root cause analysis, find out, was there something wrong with some raw materials we had in here, and really get to the root of it. So we need to follow up with that fellow.
Yeah, Preston, why don't you send us a message? I will make sure that you get followed up with. And I'll be honest here. I mean, we don't mind hearing this stuff. Preston will look at your case in detail. But I will say, we always talk about we have this 100% money back guarantee. The irony is, no one ever uses it because we really don't have people that aren't happy with the product. So although we put it out there as insurance for everybody, it's usually not the problem. And now what happens is, and I'll speak to this because Kevin usually, if we ever have an issue like that where somebody thinks that the product did something, a lot of times it's just a little education. Like you'll find out that that like literally the product can't do what you think it did. But what happens is, I've seen Kevin do this a handful of times where we have the customer thinking there was a problem, and then as we do an oil analysis, we'll batch check, we'll pull the bottle batch off it, so we'll make sure, we'll go back off the line that it came off of, make sure there's no contamination in it. We'll clarify all that, but then Kevin goes the extra mile every single time, and we'll even go further to further diagnose, because we don't want to then just say, okay, well, we figured it out, wasn't our problem, and here's why, good luck. We go the extra step, because at the end of the day, like Chris founded this company as a problem-solving company, so it's really what you know, like the vision he puts on all of us is to solve these problems out there. So at the end of the day, if the product that, you know, that you think maybe the product caused your problem, we're going to look into it. If we find the product didn't have anything to do with it, we're not going to stop there. We're still going to help you fix your problem. We want to follow through on it, because at the end of the day, we want your problem solved, even if it's something that we can't help with our product, or if we can just maybe educate you better on how we might be able to use a different product to help you, or if there's something out there in the market that can help you. That's what we're here for, and we'll spend hours in our day to help someone like that when it's not even, you know, when you may just be frustrated and not even want to buy our product again, we still want to help you out.
Yeah, definitely.
So Preston, please leave a message. We'll put it on Kevin's desk in particular, Vice President R&D. He will personally handle it and make sure we get to the bottom of what's going on for you. We want to make sure we do that. So, and please hold us accountable to it too. You know, follow up next week. I hope you chime in next week, and we'll see where we're at with it. Maybe we can update everybody on it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Chris Stewart says, should you do an engine flush before using your product?
Not necessary.
No. When you say engine flush, I mean, to me that means like a seafoam flush.
Yeah, or kerosene or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
the problem is that any of those products, you know, if you spray them out in a cup or something, you see how thin they are. They're usually made of solvents.
Right.
So they're cleaning by using a solvent, and it thins out your oil, which, you know, if you're running it for a short period of time, it doesn't cause any harm, but it's really hard to get all the solvent out of the oil. You really don't want any solvent in there. So yeah, if you use a product like the Stiction Eliminator, it'll safely bring that stuff back into solution and really end up doing a better job, especially.
So anything that's out there that like claims to be a flusher, we're doing the same thing. We're just doing it in a lot more safe way and a lot more healthy way for the motor.
Yeah. That way you could. What could happen is some bigger particles could come loose, where everything's being, you know, scrubbed off the surface, and you do drain all the oil out, but there's still a chance that you can have some undissolved particles in there that could be plugging up oil passageways.
All right. Troy Bandman says, use it in my 7.3 truck. Loves it. Worth the money. Thanks, Troy. Glad to hear that. James mentions 84,000 on the 6.0. So Bearded Medic says, you love when I say Bearded Medic.
Yeah.
He really loves that name. So the Bearded Medic says, hey, my boy Tucker just got home. Can you guys say hi? Loves the hat and sticker I got him. Sticker going on his bike. Awesome. Hey, Tucker. Thanks for chiming in, and we're happy you like it. Patrick Coffee. Dang, skipped you. Did I skip you, Patrick? I'm going back. I see you said you also are having the E4OD. Ask again if I missed it, or if you see it, Levi. Preston says they were brand new injectors. When they were pulled, it was chewed up. I had used Diesel Extreme 7 times prior with my old injectors. Yeah, like we said, Preston, follow up. I've never heard of. I mean, there's nothing in the Diesel Extreme that's going to chew up an injector like that physically, but we do want to get to the bottom of it for you. Jack Maxwell, I've used it a few times. No results. Riley McFarland, I don't understand how it would destroy O-rings. That would be tons of oil in there as well. Yeah, guys, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
That's what we do here, so we're okay. I use FR3 in my boats. Great stuff. Trey Ordonez. Yeah, so let us know. I mean, what kind of motors do you have in the boats? I mean, marine is something that we've kind of put on the radar for us to take a deeper dive into. We know we have some really good products for it already, and our ability to, some of the moisture dispersant stuff that we've got is we even showed one of the tests we did. I think, with Aaron's little, mixture and stuff. So we've got some really cool moisture dispersant and which is important on the fuel side of marine as well. So we're going to be getting more into marine. So I'm glad you're using it, Trey. Let us know what kind of motors you have on the boats and what you find success with.
Big block
Actually-
Chevy,
Big block Chevy?
454.
Wow.
We actually
Okay.
have an opportunity to do some testing up in Michigan with Exergy this summer. A military boat with twin Cummins engines in it.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Shout out to Exergy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Cowles. Hey, how you doing, Mark? Glad you didn't miss us. Came in on a Thursday, surprised you. Jack Maxwell. Ford 6.0 still has almost 1 gallon in the cooler. 1 gallon in the cooler valley even after the plug's done draining. Oh, has 1 gallon in the cooler valley even after the plug's done draining. So I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think that's a backup to
Yeah.
our caution not to use solvents because that's,
Gotcha.
that's
Gotcha.
where the oil hangs out.
Beater Medics had just made his day. Cody Hopkins on. Hey, Cody, how you doing, bud? My 2000 F250 has a posy rear end, and when I turn, there is a little binding. FR3 I would use, and how much would I add? Good question, Bearded Medic. Kevin loves this one. It's a posy rear, binding a little bit. Do we want to put FR3 in that diff?
I think I tell you what would be interesting.
You're so scared to answer this question.
I'd be interested to give him some gear oil, some adrenaline gear oil, and see if that fixes his problem. This would be good to know.
Well, how about it, Bearded Medic? You want to try out some of our gear oil? We got two new lines: our Blue Diamond severe duty gear oil and our Adrenaline Racing gear oil. They're infused with FR3. They got FR3 in them. They're at a different dosage that we don't want to give away, but Kevin thinks they might work for you. So shoot us a private message. Bearded Medic will follow up with you and see if we can get you out some of our new gear oil and see if the oil itself, because the gear oil isn't just your normal gear oil too. It's not that we just took some gear off the shelf and threw some FR3 in it. It's some good stuff.
Yeah.
It's some really good stuff. So we'll so shoot us a message, Bearded Medic. We'll follow up with you and see if we can get you to test it on it and see if we can improve. Billy Teeter says, use Diesel Extreme before in my 97 7.3. It made it idle a lot smoother. Would you recommend it in a 7.3 with 230,000 miles? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no limit to where you should stop using Diesel Extreme. The only thing we recommend is that you should switch over to EDT on a regular basis. Diesel Extreme you only need about every 6,000 miles. It's got a heavy injector cleaner in there, but it's not going to hurt anything to use every time. Only thing it's going to do is cost you more.
Yeah.
So our EDT is a smaller dosage and it gives you all the still keeps the cetane boost up in everyone. We have a lot of people that love our Diesel Extreme so much when EDT is now becoming more and more available out there. But for a while there, a lot of our retailers would only carry the Diesel Extreme.
Yeah.
And people didn't know any better. And they said, I use Diesel Extreme in every single tank. And
Yeah.
that's great for us. I mean that's but the EDT is a much smaller dosage. Per dosage, it's next to nothing. Your mile per gallon pays for it easily. So I would switch over to EDT, run Diesel Extreme every 6,000 miles or so. And he also asks, and what's 2 TSE? If you're asking what's TSE, go back to the beginning. Our very first one was on that. But you can use that. I mean, if you're asking if 230,000 miles. There's a follow-up.
Stiction Eliminator.
Oh, the Stiction Eliminator. Sorry, I can't spell. Ha! Gotcha. If you're asking if you can use the Stiction Eliminator at 230,000 miles, absolutely. Especially at 230,000. If you've got a 7.3 at 230,000 miles, please throw some Stiction in it. You'll be pleasantly pleased with the results of that. Cody says, "Hey guys, Jack Waxwell says, don't drain it all out. Yeah, that's what we figured he was talking about, having a puddle in the valley there. James Bruce says, how is Chris's Exploder running on that light oil? It's actually, what is it? It's an Escape, right?
Yeah.
It's a Ford Escape. So far, so good. I mean, his daughter's got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did another oil analysis on it, came back good.
Yeah, we did the first one at 500. It looked good, so we're gonna run it till 5,000, then do another.
It's running good enough that he gave his daughter the car back to go back to college, and he's just like, yeah, we got some experimental oil that's about as thin as water in that motor, but yeah,
It'll be fine.
she's good. So yeah, if he trusts sending his daughter to school with it, we're doing pretty good with it. So far, so good. So
Yeah.
we got a lot of, that's just the beginning. For those of you that watch every week and stuff and heard about the low weight, the 0W8 oil testing, and we even have some, I'm still interested in the 0W0 just because it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's really kind of the next evolution of oil and really where this market's going and in the future of a lightweight oil and being able to protect a motor still. And the capabilities that we have with our FR3 to protect a motor, the sky's the limit. So we got some really cool stuff. We're grateful to have guys like we got in our R&D departments to kind of do this stuff. So thanks for asking about it.
I should say it's not a short-term project. It's more of a long-term.
It is a long-term
over
project.
the next year,
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, don't expect that on your shelf next month.
Yeah.
But that's what we do here, and that's what not a lot of companies are out there doing. A lot of companies are out there trying to find something that they can get on a shelf and sell, or they're looking very, very short term. We're looking down the road where the market's going, where the types of motors that are being built. Like right now, I know we have a lot of focus as we look ahead on, diesel production's way up,
Yeah,
and they're not just big trucks anymore. A lot of these small eco diesel motors, these small cars, they're becoming more efficient. They're expanding on the types of, and not everybody who's driving a normal daily driver car has always bought a turbo diesel. Now they're coming out there, so we know that there's going to be some new challenges with those too. So we're always trying to look ahead at that and where the market's going and keep our science and research in front of it. Peter says, well, hell, I trust you guys. Haven't let me down yet. Attaboy. Let us throw some stuff in your gears. Abel Schumann says, what would you recommend to try and bring some injectors back into balance on a Duramax?
Actually, we've had a lot of people at the events tell us that they actually gave us numbers on where the balance rate started at and where it ended up at after Run Diesel Stream. They were just amazed.
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head, but it definitely will help. And it's Duramax. What we hear is the injector rates or the contribution rates, and the noise in the injecters. If somebody doesn't have a computer on it, they'll tell us how quiet the injectors are after they use it.
Yep. Billy Hughes, 10-4, thank you. Bearded Medic, I did Stiction in my 7.3 with 209,000 miles, and it worked awesomely. Tell a big difference. Absolutely. Billy says he's going to give it a try. I think we got time for maybe, I don't know, we're overdue. We're past our limit. See, we did it. We managed to go longer than we expected without any product to talk about, and you guys fed us questions the whole time. We appreciate it. So we're going to be free product. Well, it's not Free Product Friday. It's throw some product to them Thursday. So we're doing customer's choice is what it says. So let's do Sean Tripoli, Razmir Avik, Jeff Obermeyer, and Billy Teeters. You guys send us a private message. Sean Tripoli, Razmir Avik, Jeff Obermeyer, Billy Teeters. You guys send us a private message. We're going to give you your additive choice, is what I'm told. So whatever you want to try, this is your opportunity. We'll send you out a free bottle, and look forward to seeing your feedback on that. Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe to our email newsletter. The LSI magazine is coming out next, and you can get that by signing up for the email newsletter as well. Remember, we got these web deals, right, Levi?
Absolutely.
So we got bundle deals, are 10% off bundles right now. We get $5 off gallons, so Pick your favorite product, buy it in the gallon size, get an extra $5 and already discounted price on it. And have a good Friday. Have a happy Easter, everybody. I guess next week this time we should be on the racetrack down in North Carolina. Maybe I'll go live from Rudy's next week
That'd be interesting.
and show everybody what it's like to go through the pits down there, the staging lanes, and watch some of those guys. So maybe we'll do a duo show like we've done before. We'll start off live here, and halfway through I'll take it live down in North Carolina to show everybody what's going on at Rudy's. So,
Yeah.
so have a good holiday weekend.
Yep.
We'll see you next week in some way or another. Do you have a parting word to say to everybody?
See you next week.
Classy. Have a good night. See you next week, guys.
Thanks.